Thank you, Glenn, and good morning to our listeners. It's with pleasure we welcome back to the morning show the president of StFX University, Dr. Andy Hakin. Andy, good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Ken. Pleased to be back on 989 XFM.
It's always great to have the opportunity to share with our listeners things that are going on at St. Francis Xavier University. You had a good Thanksgiving.
Very good Thanksgiving. Thanks, Ken. On Monday night, we went across to Morrison Hall and had Thanksgiving supper with our students. Congratulations to the staff of Sodexo. Fantastic meal and great company with the students as usual.
And there was lots for them to do recreational-wise in the community as well.
Yes, on Saturday there were a couple of bus loads of students went up to Keppoch Mountain and enjoyed some hiking out there. And thanks to the Keppoch for helping us with that. Great activity for our students.
With Thanksgiving behind us, this is a milestone as far as we're nearing halfway.
Yeah, we're nearing halfway, and of course we still need to remind everyone to keep their foot on the gas with respect to the precautions that we take. It's not a time to relax, Ken, in that regard. We have to keep our local community safe. We have to try and remain inside the bubble as we continue.
You folks at StFX, as well as the community in which you call home, obviously before the university year started, everybody was a bit tentative. That has changed to a certain degree, but as you say, you can't let the guard down. Your relationships with community are good. Yeah,
things have gone very well. And again, it's our thanks to the community for all of their support, for the university and, of course, for our students. We don't want to let you down in any way, and we really appreciate your support moving forward.
When we talk about the students coming back to classes after Thanksgiving, COVID is not that far away. And of course, the province of New Brunswick is battling it a little bit right now.
Yeah, you'll see an announcement go out from the university, Ken, that basically indicates that if you are meeting family in New Brunswick or you're returning from New Brunswick, especially from zones 1 to 5 in New Brunswick, you should take some special precautions. As we all now know, there's been a bit of an outbreak in New Brunswick. And so just take care. Look for symptoms. If you have a fever, a cough, any peculiar pieces like loss of taste or smell, please phone 811, self-isolate until you get a test back. That's what we need to do in these times, Ken. These are new and different moments that we have to navigate correctly.
As we head towards December, quite obviously, with university comes exams.
That's right, and the exam schedule is now out for the end of the semester. Exams will start on December the 5th and they'll run till December the 14th. And the last day of the university will be December the 15th. And then the students will get that break. And those that have been with us from outside the bubble will have the opportunity to go home for a bit of an extended break. And I know they're looking forward to that one already.
Yes, of course they are. We're looking for low-risk behavior when they do go home.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, again, we just ask students to be very, very mindful. Low-risk behavior. If you don't have to go out into high-risk environments, high-density populations, please don't. You know, take all the precautions that you've been taking here in Antigonish. Keep yourself safe, keep your family safe, and by extension, keep this community safe.
Our listeners would be wondering, what about when the students return after Christmas break?
Yeah, we're working now with Senate in order to nail down the start of the winter semester. And we already know that is likely to have a period of self-isolation for those students returning from outside of the bubble. The 14-day self-isolation period is still in place. That's a public health requirement. We'll be working through that, and I would say, Ken, we'll be looking again to call on our many volunteers who've helped the university earlier this year to help out our students in the community. Grocery shopping, support of our students will be one of the key pieces again in the winter semester.
Can you give our listeners the radio version of the Senate?
Yeah, Senate is the highest academic body in the university. It operates in what we call a bicameral system with the Board of Governors. The Board of Governors looks after the fiduciary responsibilities of the university. The Senate and another body called faculty look after the academic aspects of the university operation. The role of the president is to sit between those two bodies and help navigate both for the institution.
And of course, the Senate were a big part of the decision for StFX to come back.
Yeah, that's correct. The Senate basically set the academic calendar and the academic regulations that allow for the return of students.
Okay, so we'll be waiting on a decision there. Any kind of timeline on when we may have a decision?
Next couple of weeks, Ken, is where we're headed to. Our Vice President Academic and Provost, Dr. Kevin Walmsley, has been working with groups of faculty and last night met with students to get their input on some of the options that we're putting forward.
And of course, we'll have an update here on XFM as time rolls on.
You certainly will.
Athletics, we're missing them.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's a decision imminent within Atlantic University Sports. The board of that group will make a decision on what type of sports could be played in the winter semester, if any can. It is a possibility that we will see women's and men's basketball and women and men's ice hockey in the winter semester. It's likely to be sanctioned sport, but we already know there's no national level sports taking place in Canada. So perhaps they'll come forward with a plan that the rest of the presidents can look at that will give us options in terms of some type of sanctioned activity.
StFX President Andy Hakin is our guest on the morning show, and we're, of course, updating our listeners in the XFM coverage area on activities at StFX University. What about recruitment? We have to look ahead.
Yeah, I know people are often surprised. We just seem to get our students back and we're on the road again looking for our next students. This year, however, not really on the road. It's all virtual, Ken. And this Saturday is a big milestone in that recruitment activity. We have a very large Zoom party activity for recruitment on Saturday at 11 o'clock. And encourage anyone who wants to register for that event to go onto the main StFX website and log themselves in, and we'll look forward to seeing you on Saturday. Look, StFX is a fantastic university. It's got everything that one could possibly imagine in terms of academic programming, but it's also the activities, it's also the experience that you can have here. And key to that, of course, is the way in which this community interacts with the university. It is such an intimate academic experience supported by our community. Who could resist that, Ken?
The virtual experience that they will enjoy this weekend, your support staff has adapted very well.
Yes, they have. You know, over the last few months, we've had so many virtual events that the staff have become really experts at what they're doing. Zoom calls, Microsoft Teams calls, virtual events. The other week we had a Golden Grad event, and I think I may have talked about that when Frank McKenna was on. It's just wonderful, and people seem to really adapt to it well. It's a venue in which, yes, you haven't got that face-to-face contact in the traditional way, but you can still hear and enjoy the stories that are shared between people.
And there are a lot of StFX stories over the years, and you're going to continue to add to those.
Yes, we certainly are. You know, Ken, we have such brilliant faculty at StFX. They all bring very, very special stories with them, and they're all doing work that needs, the stories about that work need to be told.
After we have come out of Thanksgiving weekend, what can you tell our listeners? Everything is good to this point, right?
Everything is good to this point. We're moving forward with our plans. As the next event horizon for us now is thinking about getting that winter semester in place. At this point, we're still COVID-free, which is a wonderful piece, and we will maintain that. We're moving through with the disciplinary processes that were put into place for those students who violated the Student Code of Conduct and other Public Health Protection Act orders. And I've spoken about that before, Ken. Just want to remind listeners, we're serious with our students. If there are infractions, we're on it.
And your relationship with the health sector is very strong.
It is very strong. And we've got current conversations with them, always ongoing, about what we see moving forward. Some of our needs will be. We're still talking about the reintroduction of testing for the winter semester moving forward. Lots of things on the horizon, Ken, and we are grateful of the support of the health community.
The virtual open house will be this weekend at 11 a.m. Very best of luck to you and others, Andy, with the open house.
Yes, it's an important one, Ken, and we'll be there to ensure that the students know firsthand from me the importance of a great university education. My line is very simple, Ken. Education is good for you, go out and get some. One of the best places to come, StFX University.
It certainly is, and it has been for a lot of years. And you can find a link to the open house on the homepage of stfx.ca. Andy Hakin has been our guest on the morning show. Andy, thank you for this. And of course, we'll continue to update the XFM listeners as time goes on.
Thank you very much, Ken. Thank you to everyone. 99 XFM.